WandaVision Review, finally! Episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I was gonna do them individually, but I gotta catch up. Sorry. And this actually kind of works because my feelings about this kind of went up and down a little bit, but episode 5, I feel like I'm in a good place now where I could share my thoughts. It sounds like I'm in therapy or something. I don't know. Frickin' you know who does need to speak to a professional? Yeah, totally. And listen, guys, it's 5 episodes of WandaVision, so I'm probably gonna speed through these quicker than I normally would. But for my episode 6 review, we'll be back to our normally scheduled program. Sorry. Sometimes you think about it in your head and you're like, oh, it sounds good. And then you say it out loud and you're like, I love the names of these episodes. And that is actually, in my defense, a solid name for the episode that Wanda accepts reality. Maybe the season finale. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Just saying. And before we get into all these episodes, can we just take a second and give Marvel, like, a hand for doing something different? Seriously, guys, freaking bravo, man. I love Marvel and DC. I don't give a crap who makes it. I just want something good. But yeah, each studio has its strengths and weaknesses. DC is that dark risk taker that can make some really great stuff. And also some shit. Marvel, they have the formula down. It's pretty much always good, but also pretty freaking safe. Yeah, and predictable. And don't go all keyboard warrior out of your freaking mom's basement now like, what about Endgame and Infinity War? I'm sorry, but the cinematic universe this large, putting them all in a movie together a decade later, is that a breakthrough or natural progression? Yeah, I'm going with the latter. Now, WandaVision? This is different. Yeah. I mean, you were bound to get people being like, oh, what is this crap? After seeing episode 1, and as much as I did love it, because I totally get some people hating it. I get it, yeah. Because again, this is totally out of left field for Marvel. The MCU is just freaking colorful all the time. This is literally black and white. No Tony Stark verbal jabs. No Captain America telling you how important this moment is or the movie you're watching is. What you do have is some 50s Leave It to Beaver Bewitched stuff, which is totally high concept and definitely an acquired taste. Yeah. But I'm sorry, I thought episode 1 was freaking amazing. Not because of the sitcom thing. That was creative and all. And the actors were great in it. Especially Elizabeth Olsen nailing that whole 50s sitcom thing. But at the same time, having that look of confusion in her eyes, ever so slightly, knowing something ain't right. No. Which is what really makes this episode special to me. It's not what's in your face, but it's the tones under the surface. Dude, look closer. This is some really dark and twisted stuff, man. And I love it. It's Leave It to Beaver, but it's really some Twilight Zone purgatory hell shit going on. Yeah. And it's special and creepy because of how subtle it is. Bro, the dinner scene? Whew. I see what you did there, Marvel, and I freaking love it. Yeah, I totally see why they released episodes 1 and 2 together. And listen, they've moved from the 50s to the 60s. That's cool. The opening credits for the TV show, super creative. WandaVision, WandaVision. Yeah, they definitely went all in on this. The magic show, that was fun. And it's doing the 60s sitcom thing so well in this episode. Maybe a little too well. Yeah, even when episode 1 was being fun and light, there was still this layer of unsettling, I don't know what, through the whole thing. Just kind of like this horror movie-ish vibe. This episode, the tone is more sci-fi than creepy. And it's not a constant. It's just a few moments here and there. Yeah, you need a better balance. Because going full-blown sitcom, it feels like this does have a shelf life. You can't do it. And let's be careful not to stay here too long because I can see it going from brilliant to boring. If we do. That said, episode 2 did end strong with moving the plot forward. And we get color at the end. Yes! So episode 3 is going to be badass, right? I mean, it's interesting. Wanda's pregnant. How does that even work? I mean, I know how it happens normally, but I mean, like, could Vision produce bodily fluids? Do his soldiers, like, freaking swim? Could they impregnate Wanda? Why am I even asking these questions? Like, this is the part that it's not realistic? Sorry. But yeah, it's the 70s, and bro, the Brady Bunch, they called and they want their set back. The tone, the color, the screen aspect ratio, all solid for the 70s. But I will say they dropped the ball just a little bit, not adding some grain, because they did not have HD back then, and this shit looks 4K. But it is cool how the aspect ratio changes with the last shot, showing us we're back to reality. But yeah, I see a pattern now with the last 2 episodes where we're in full sitcom too much, and the last 5 minutes is a strong ending with mystery, letting us know there is more. At this point, I was like, I like the show, but I need a little bit more, like some answers, something. I was just asking for a peek behind the curtain. Bro, this episode pulls the freaking curtain down. Yeah. Starting with an opening that honestly gives me goosebumps. Seeing that whole like blip thing in other scenarios, I always find it really cool and often touching because it affected people. Great grown-up casting for that little girl, the one from the Captain Karen movie. Yeah, I said it.
Let me speak to your manager.
You know you see it. And yeah, some cool faces are back. The gay detective guy that has a hots for Paul Rudd in the Ant-Man movies, he's cool. And Darcy, she's so much fun. I would have taken her over Plain Jane any day. I don't know what Thor was thinking. And man, since Marvel is doing a spin-off for everything, they should make these two into like a X-Files Marvel thing and yeah, run with it. And basically all the little things we saw at a place in the first few episodes, we're seeing the other side of it here, which answers a lot of questions. A lot of questions. We also see Darcy and Agent Wu watching the sitcom episodes, getting so into the sitcom part of it, they forget what they're really watching. I know how they feel, but I did have one question about next week's episode. Now that we've seen both sides, what's the balance going to be like? Because this next episode should give us an idea of what the tone is going to be for the rest of the episodes. Yeah. Yeah, I am liking the back and forth. It's solid balance. And we finally have some real momentum going with the story, moving it along. And dude, I love seeing Wanda as the villain. I know she's really not. At least I don't think she is. But it is some dark shit, mind controlling everybody so that she can play house with her dead boyfriend. It's sick. It's dark. And I freaking love it. She's quickly moving up the ranks of my favorite MCU characters. I'm just saying. This reminds me of that old Twilight Zone movie. One of the stories was that kid who anything he wished came true. And he had a fake family, which were really just people taken hostage that didn't want to die, so they played house with him. Yeah, it reminds me of that, dude. I'm freaking loving this. And yeah, it's awesome seeing Wanda all like badass, scary, creepy. It's cool. That said, what's up with the accent? She hadn't dropped it after that, and now it's back. I'm cool with whatever, but are we choosing one? And dude, the ending? I guessed who was at the door, but I was surprised by the actor. X-Men movies were definitely hit and miss, but they hit with Evan Peters, Mr. American Horror Story. Then Darcy in the episode's like, oh, they recasted him. Freaking calling it out like that? That's freaking awesome. I love it. I love Darcy. Those first two Thor movies would have been funner if it was Darcy and Thor. Hey, at least they got the third one right. 5 episodes. Wow. We did it. Yay. Guys, looking back at these 5 episodes, I can appreciate 2 and 3 now more. 1 was brilliant. 2 and 3 were interesting slow burns. 4 opened this up. And with episode 5, we are now going places. Yes. I'll say right now, this is the most high concept, risky shit Marvel has ever done. And by the final episode, watching it all together, this may be one of the best things Marvel has ever done. Or a total misfire. It's going to be one of the two. Stay tuned to find out. I did it again. I'm sorry. And now that I'm caught up, episode 6 is going to have a lot more detail, a little more of a breakdown. Love you guys. Subscribe and all that crap. And thanks for watching.